you guys a short video today. I want to talk a little bit about 3 ways in which we can become women who men feel safe to be with, which is actually quite an accomplishment. This is in follow-up to Woman and Warrior, the fundraiser that we just did for my friend, and there were several things that we kind of came to all together when we gathered yesterday. So I wanted to share them with you. Quick note that her mystery school, the 9-month journey, begins in a little bit over 3 weeks on September 14th. I would love to have you. This is my last year of teaching the first year curriculum full time, so it's a special year. And if you've been thinking about it, now is the time. And also this year we're introducing a new mentorship that relates to this topic, is a couples mentorship. So this year, our 8th year, for the first time, you can actually go through the school and have a mentorship with our sexuality and intimacy mentor with your partner, so that you're integrating the deep feminine sensibilities and principles of the school into your relationship. I'm super excited about it. We've been thinking about this for a long time. So all that is on the website and or in the newsletter. Let's go into these 3 things that I wrote down. So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot out there that is focused on how women can feel safe with men for all the obvious reasons. However, one of the topics and one of the big pieces that came up during Woman and Warrior was the understanding that it is also up to us to be safe, in integrity, trustworthy, mutual guardians with the men in our lives. You know, these are our brothers, maybe our lovers. You know, these are potentially soul-making relationships, and we want to hold them with the same level of reverence that we hold ourselves and that we hold our sisters and that we hold life. So I wanted to say, you know, without getting too much into it, because this is a big topic actually, I want to just bring forward 3 ways that I strive to become a woman that men feel safe to be with, and that I invite you just to consider and reflect into in your own world. The first one is to always seek to foster a mutual guardianship. So what that means to me is that we actually listen, we understand that there are deep vulnerabilities in men, specifically in relationship to women. There are deep wounds there, and they are legitimate. There are, if you can believe it, there are flaws, and there are shadows that move through women that are specific to either seducing, condescending, criticizing, emasculating men. So this thing about mutual guardianship has been really alive for me over the past 8 months as I've been traveling with this warrior, and I just offer that to you. What I feel like it challenges is the insidious presence of entitlement in our world, in ourselves, you know, in humankind, right? That there is a beautiful dance there, and it changes, right? Who's the protector? Who is providing? Who is holding, right? There is a dance, and obviously it's not necessarily, you know, we share it, brothers and sisters, men and women, we share this, but to expect it without making sure that we are offering it, to expect a trustworthy and loving and reverent and attuned relationship and meeting with a man without actually verifying that we are cultivating the same and offering the same is futile, and it's also kind of torturous for everybody involved. So seeking to foster mutual guardianship, that is the bond. That is the central bond. You can go anywhere with your brothers if you are willing to step into mutual guardianship, which is we choose to protect one another. That's our first vow. Whatever kind of relationship we're having, whatever, our first vow, our promise, and our alignment, our covenant is to protect each other, to watch out for each other, to be brothers and sisters in arms, right? That's first I would offer. The second I would say, and this is something that we focus on a lot in her mystery school, and it's one of the things I most appreciate about the school and about the women who come to it, is that we are not interested in defining ourselves or defining womanhood in opposition to anything else. We're not interested actually in discussing the patriarchy and discussing the flaws or the evils or the shadows here or there or whatever. We want to name it, for sure. We are definitely going to discern what's in front of us and what's happening. But that's not where we're going to get our definition. That's not where we're going to navigate from or where we're going to get our guidance from. We answer to this inside, that the inner God, the inner voice, the inner knowing, right? And when we establish deep feminine power, deep feminine presence, we do it in a sovereign manner, which means we don't establish that or create it on any level in opposition to something else, anything else, particularly the masculine. Because I'll tell you what, when you do that, when you create anything in opposition to something else, you've made it vulnerable. You've made it vulnerable to losing its definition. You've made it dependent upon the existence of this other thing, even the flaws of this other thing or this other person or gender, whatever you say. You've made it dependent on that, and it is not actually a powerful place. So that my second piece was cultivate a sense of power and presence and identity that is complete in and of itself and does not depend on opposition to define itself. So all the practices in her mystery school are centered around this and nurture this, because it is not an easy task. It is, the levels of purification, purifying ourselves from emasculation, man-shaming, condescension, all the things that we might be holding. It just gets more and more subtle, right? That's the walk for everyone in life. Is you want to walk a sacred path, you want to become more and more of your own true nature, well, then this is how it goes. There's going to be more deeper, more subtle layers of where we aren't actually who we really are, right? So the third then is to cultivate the skillful means necessary to elicit the good warrior, the protector, the cherisher, whatever it is that you can see in this brother in front of you, in this man in front of you, whatever it is that you can feel, the deep feminine in you calling forth in any moment, that we understand that, oh my God, is it amazing when that is just given? Yes. Is that amazing when that is just the character of the person in front of us? Yes. Does it feel really right? Yes. And both our brothers and ourselves, we are growing and we have flaws and we make each other true. And part of how we do that is we elicit through and from within each other what we can really see that we are, or what we could become, or this is soul seeing on some level, right? And it is, I understand, a little bit of a delicate line to walk. We explore all these things in depth and in detail in her mystery school, because we're talking about a lot of things that are ultimately very nuanced in terms of your own inner energetic landscaping and languaging, right? What does it mean to, well, anyway, I'll stop there because that's a lot. But so cultivating the skillful means, what are those skillful means? How do you sit in front of anyone, but maybe especially in this case, a brother of yours, your lover, and whatever they are presenting, by your own nature, by your being and the way that you show up, actually eliciting the good, right? And this is not meaning that they're abdicating any responsibility. It's about us really remembering who we are. Woman, you are powerful. You are magnetic. You do elicit the good from the soul of the world. That is what we do, right? That's one of the gifts of being woman, one of the soulful, deep, subtle powers of us. And sometimes we don't quite have the skillful means to do that in a good way, but we can. And that to understand that beyond right and wrong and beyond victim perpetrator, beyond all the things, beyond even like my boundaries and my this and my that, we want to remember what we really are capable of doing and what we're really here for. you know, our world is fracturing. We're here to mend it, right? Our world is amnesiac. We ourselves are constantly forgetting and having to remember that our brothers are constantly forgetting or have forgotten who they are. Remembrance is what we serve. Remembrance is what we are an incarnation of if we cultivate deep feminine potency and deep feminine wisdom. And we let that move through us and we let that actually fill us and do what it does, which is elicit beauty, the good, the soul, elicit the higher nature of all around us. So these are just a few considerations. Obviously, they are just, it's one window into the dynamics here, but I offer them for your consideration because these relationships, this gorgeous polarity and this gorgeous union and the dance between men and women, masculine, feminine, however you feel that in yourself, within you, or in the people around you. I mean, this is what creates harmony. This is what creates love and life. This dance. And we know how to do it, but we did. We can remember how to do it. So the 3 things: seek to foster mutual guardianship, cultivate a sense of power that is complete in and of itself, does not depend on opposition to define itself, and cultivate the skillful means necessary to elicit the good. Right? This is what we do in the school. This is what I'm positive you're actually already doing. So I hope this quick video serves to magnify to you all the ways in which you do these things already, and to then also validate for you the import of how you show up in the world and what you carry as a woman, both the responsibilities of that and the beauty of that. So these are a few thoughts, my offering. So much love to all of you. Again, we start September 14th. I'd love to have you for the 9-month journey. And if you've got a beautiful man in your life and you want to journey the 9 months and have Dionysia mentor the 2 of you in terms of really integrating deep feminine sensibilities into your relationship, integrating how you're growing and what that then elicits in your partner, please check it out. Check it out on the website. Lots of love.